is everywhere. In all our long history, we have never seen a greater day than this.
6 long years of war. Winston Churchill declared the end of fighting in Europe. It was the 8th of May, 1945, Victory in Europe Day. Welcome to this special programme marking the 75th anniversary of VE Day, when Nazi Germany surrendered to Allied forces and the Second World War in Europe was declared over. In just a couple of minutes' time, at 11 o'clock precisely, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall will lead a national moment of remembrance from Balmoral to pay tribute to heroes of the past and present. This was Trafalgar Square in central London 75 years ago. After the long, hard years of war, the nation was ready to celebrate. Thousands of people poured onto the Mall. "We want the King," they called out from the railings at Buckingham Palace. The royal family appeared on the palace balcony not once, but 8 times that day to greet the crowds. And they were joined later by the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, as the nation came together to celebrate victory in Europe. Well, our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell is with me now, and today's commemoration is a far cry from what was planned before coronavirus, but despite that, the royal family is still very much at the heart of it.
Yes, and it is, I think, what the royal family does best, really, representing the entire nation and the Commonwealth of Nations, a symbol of unity, a symbol of resolve at a time of challenge, of thankfulness, at a time of commemoration. And, of course, in the Queen, in Queen Elizabeth, we have a direct link to this day. 75 years ago, there she was, as we saw a moment ago, on the balcony of Buckingham Palace alongside her father, King George VI, and Winston Churchill. And there is, Sophie, the added poignancy of remembrance, which has taken on this even sharper significance at the moment with all the losses of the pandemic. So we recall a day 75 years ago when the nation, many nations, emerged from the war in Europe, when Britain had suffered nearly 500,000 casualties, when the veterans of that generation, of course, are having to be isolated.
And there, on this cloudless day, over the white cliffs of Dover, the iconic aircrafts, such symbols of Britain's fight for survival against the Nazis and of the RAF's superiority. And one last word from Nick Witchell. Tonight, the Queen will give her message to the nation.
Yes, an address to the nation from the Queen at the very time, 9 o'clock British time tonight, when her father, King George VI, broadcast to the nation. And the Prince of Wales laying his wreath at Balmoral, strangely representative, really, of this day, in that there are no great national acts of commemoration. Remembrance lies in the heart.
Nick Witchell, thank you. And so begin today's events to commemorate VE Day, to thank the World War II generation for their service and sacrifice during those wartime years. Given the current crisis we are living through now, paying tribute to them seems all the more poignant.